Esos son los 5 nombres de mis hijos. Y a Yair, o sea, nació cuando yo ya estaba aquí en México.
Three or four times a week, Yamir Cruz walks to a cyber cafe down the street from his apartment. He types a phrase into YouTube and watches images of his 5 children move across the screen. Yamir lost custody of his children 3 years ago, after he was deported. There are now 57 home movies of the kids on YouTube, posted by their adoptive family. Yamir has watched every minute of them over and over. We decided not to show the kids' faces.
Pero es mejor poder verlos, por lo menos, que no verlos.
Ya que pues no estoy con ellos, es el único medio donde yo puedo estar enterado cómo están.
The American child welfare system is designed to always give priority to the biological parent, even if they've committed a felony or are sentenced to decades in prison. And according to international law, families should only be separated as a last resort. But when a parent is deported from the US, their rights aren't always protected. This is how one such parent came to be separated from his children. Yamir was 16 when he left Acapulco and crossed the border through the desert on foot without papers. He settled in a trailer park in Jonesboro, Georgia, and met the mother of his children 3 years later at a gas station off of Interstate 75.
Yo no entendía mucho inglés. Y pues ella, según hablaba un poco español, mucho, pero intentaba hablar. Así pues nos fuimos entendiendo poco a poco.
Over the next 8 years, Yamir and his girlfriend, living on his wages as an electrician, had 4 children together, plus one from another father that Yamir raised as his own. They never married. They argued often. Both he and his ex, who asked not to be named in this story, told us the same thing. Even though their fights were heated, he never hit her. Nevertheless, Yamir was arrested for domestic violence 3 times. The 3rd time the neighbors called the cops proved to be the last. On the advice of his court-appointed lawyer, Yamir pled guilty, not realizing this would lead to his deportation.
¿Por qué le dijiste que sí? Si no eras culpable, ¿por qué decidiste?
Pues quería salir ya a la siguiente corte. Sí, ya quería salir. Y pues más que nada yo sabía que yo era el único que trabajaba.
2 days before Christmas 2011, Immigration and Customs Enforcement put Yamir on a one-way flight to Mexico. 8 months later, Georgia's Department of Family and Children's Services, known as DFACS, visited Yamir's children and found them unattended. The 5 kids, the oldest of whom was 8 years old, were put in foster care. Records show that their mother never visited them and later tested positive for meth and marijuana. Yamir was desperate to return to the US and reunite with his children. He ended up making 6 separate attempts to cross the border and serving 3 federal prison sentences, adding up to 2 years for illegal re-entry. On one occasion, he requested to serve his time in Atlanta so he'd be closer to the kids and could try to see them. From prison, he repeatedly contacted DFACS, the juvenile court, and the Mexican consulate, with no luck. Documents show that Yamir pleaded with immigration officials to bring his children with him to Mexico, but ICE did not act on his request.
Pues el consulado no pudo ayudarme, ¿no? en yo poder agarrar visitas, ni los trabajadores sociales. No pude comunicarme, intenté varias veces, todo el tiempo que estuve ahí, pero nunca pude contactarme por vía telefónica.
On September 9th, 2014, nearly 3 years after he was deported from the US, Yamir lost the kids for good. He was in Tijuana when he got the call.
Yo lo hablé por teléfono con él y exactamente digo que ilegalmente, porque era indocumentado, o sea, digo, es pues sí, por eso, porque no tengo papeles. Pregunté cómo podía ser posible que me hayan quitado mis derechos solamente por eso. Él no me dijo más, no, que lo sentí, de no haber podido ayudarme. La verdad que se me vino el mundo abajo también ese día que...
No one tracks these kinds of cases, although one nonprofit estimated in 2011 that more than 5,000 kids were in foster care under similar circumstances.
El plan de familias, posiblemente. Okay.
As Georgia's child advocate, Tom Rawlings oversees the state's child welfare system and is acutely aware of its flaws, including the way it often treats deported parents.
Is a deportation treated by the system, intentionally or otherwise, as a form of abandonment?
It should not be. Families should not have borders. You are still a parent regardless of where you are. And I think under our state, national, and really international law, that is the way it is supposed to be. Our federal and state child welfare system are designed to reunite children with parents.
Yamir has seen his children on family vacations to national parks. He's watched them celebrate their birthdays and go about their daily lives in their new home. He noticed that some of his kids had new names.
Pues me alegro de que estén bien. Eso es lo que me da gusto, que están bien. Y quiero pensar que están bien, porque pues, claro que porque yo les mandé correo electrónico, me metí a fondo y agarré el correo pero nunca no he tenido respuestas. Lo que más me duele es encontrarlos y que me reprochen algo, eso, porque tanto tiempo sin saber de mí, o tanto tiempo ausente. Eso es lo que más me preocupa, me aterroriza.